Okay, so this is a bit of a test. Hello. So it's on the side of my helmet. I did a massive test today. Went for a good 30-mile ride out. And when I got back, I hadn't recorded anything. Not a sausage. So I've just popped the microphone inside the helmet, and it's jammed up against the cheek pad, and this is pretty much what I expect you to be able to see and hear. Now, my worry is, obviously, as soon as you get bombing along at anything like reasonable speeds, you might have a few issues with wind noise and whatever. But I've got to try that out. No idea how that's going to work. I pressed all the buttons this morning, this afternoon earlier, and ended up recording absolutely bog all. So, try again tomorrow. We'll try that. Everything's a trial. Trial and error. That's a long enough charge. Right, just got to get some petrol. I want to go for a little pootle, and I want to see if it keeps this misfiring thing. It's been misfiring since I've got it. When it arrived, it had done 480 miles. And I've done enough to fill it up with petrol, sort of 1.5 times. Half a tank when I first got it, and another fill up. And it's still making stuttery, it's not juddery, it's not as if you're in the wrong gear. It's as if the fuel is off, or it's fueling badly. And it doesn't happen all that often. But it's not right, and I definitely want to make sure that I can solve that. As you can see, I hope it's in very good condition. It's virtually new. But if this fueling issue doesn't solve itself once I've got through a few more litres of air, then I will certainly have to get in touch with Triumph and see what they say. It's under warranty, so I'm pretty confident that they'll be able to sort it. Been thinking a little bit about my riding as well. When I rode the other day, I have to say it was pretty awful. It really was. Wondering where I could go for a top up of petrol. 33 miles until I need some more. Beautiful day for motorcycling. Yeah, I'm not sure how that's going to come across on the microphone. That seems a little bit loud to me. That's perhaps just me being a bit aware of it though. Just those mirrors, did I? So immediately on my right, maybe about a mile or so away, is the wash. Not very far away, well, the marshes and then the wash itself. And this is all reclaimed land. We're in the South Holland area, partly named because it's the Dutch who came over to drain the land. So it's a little bit like the Zuider Zee. I've not had that poor fueling issue today at all. Which is good. Not had that glitchiness, stutter. Maybe that bad fuel has got through the system, if that's what it was. I think also the ECU units, and I don't know because I don't even know what that stands for, but this sort of electronic system does adjust to the way that you ride to a certain extent. Nasty junction here, because they're desperate to get out. Absolutely desperate. Has he seen me? Yeah. Desperate to get out. Not surprised it says slow. Yeah, I can feel the wind. When I get up to 60, I can definitely feel it. Not awful. I'm sure I'm going to get used to it as well, because I'm going to need to be able to go a little bit quicker than this. Yeah, the bloody smell of the countryside. I'm hoping the microphone isn't too bad. I might have to get a slightly bigger dead cat type fluffy thing for it. The helmet is definitely quite noisy on this bike. So we're on the outskirts of Spalding now. Been an accident. I presume that's my fan kicking in. It's a warm day. Okay, this is Spalding. Very nice. And a bit hot and sweaty, to be honest. Today. Best go this way in case that road's still blocked off. They wouldn't let lorries wouldn't come down here normally, so it must be, I reckon. Yeah, it's a pleasant little place, Spalding, I always think. Perhaps a bit more run down now than it used to be. I used to think it was quite posh. There you go. Oh, I get you. Wondered what he was doing there. He'd seen the glass, which I hadn't, which is good. Outlet shopping, which is sort of the people's obsession, isn't it? Again, he hasn't got a lot on the top of body, and I don't know, you have to be unlucky. You have to be unlucky. You don't have to be a bad rider. Sometimes you can just be unlucky. I remember getting a puncture, back wheel puncture, on my matchless, and I was doing about 55, 60, and I did well not to fall off. That's just bad luck. That's not, you know, it wasn't me riding badly, I wasn't doing anything stupid. But had I come off at 40 or 50, I'd at least have had a bit of protection. At least I had some kit on. Back to Molten Chapel, I think we ought to. That sort of area. I don't think I quite drive out of those roundabouts quickly enough. Still worried about these tyres not being quite as good as, you know, like proper road tyres, but I'm sure they are proper road tyres. I'm sure they get just as hot and sticky, especially these sort of conditions, as anything. In fact, in these sort of conditions, they're probably just as good as. You see me. Sometimes you wonder if they're slowing down because they're about to turn. And that certainly can happen. I thought I might have set off in second then. Bloody hell, another one. It's because they go round people's property, these roads, so it can be a bit odd. Once you get used to them, no doubt you know where they are. They're just going around people's fields, aren't they? This is really just to test out my suspension, I reckon. It's almost off-roading. It's typical of the riding that you get out here though. Pretty damned uncomfortable, to be honest. And the roads aren't great. You're not really sure where you're going. I'm going to try my other helmet because this one's a little bit... I'm not going down that road. That road is just fine. This bike is actually made for this sort of road. Absolutely brilliant, this sort of thing. All B roads, good quality B roads. I would say it's very good at indeed. This one isn't quite such a good quality B road. You can see the great big drainage dikes. This is how they reclaim the land. They basically put in a load of big dikes, well, big drainage channels like this one, and then dikes feeding it, and then a series of pumping stations to pump it where they wanted it. It's a great system. So, heading out of Sutton St James towards Tydd St Mary. A little 3-mile stretch that I used to do when I had my first bike. I had a CD 175. And then I had a 250 Suzuki GSX 250. The soft one, not the XR, which was the X7, which was the quick one. Mine was the soft, smooth one. 35 miles since I filled up. $278 miles since I've had the bike. Tydd St Mary. Not going to mess with this lorry. One opposite as well. My leg burning. It's almost as if I can smell popcorn. Where's he going? He's going that way. He's not going anywhere near me. Steady up, mate. This is too dangerous a junction. Yeah, it's not the best road in the world, but it's worth just opening it out every now and again and just seeing what it's like. This is one of those roads where the middle line is not always the best place to be. It's wallowy. So we're back to Sutton Bridge. Soon be home.